So Kanye West has been banned from entering the UK to perform at Wireless Festival over the last few days. We're going to get into it. We're going to be talking about Kanye's controversies, some of his music, and how we got here, and what it means for the future of politics and music. My name is Knaxel. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you're new here, smash that like and subscribe button. Let's get into it. So Kanye has undoubtedly had one of the most interesting careers in rap over the last 20 years. His debut single, 2003, Through the Wire, was a massive success, and he has written and produced for so many different artists. His 2003 debut single Through the Wire was actually written from a hospital bed and recorded with his head in a brace following a car accident where he says he's sustained serious brain damage. Keep that in mind because we're going to revisit that in a bit. Like I mentioned, one of the most successful rappers in the 2000s and the early 2010s, but in recent years he hasn't had that much success, mainly due to his public behaviour and his rants. His career has frequently been derailed by impulsive outbursts, anti-Semitic triads, and racist statements, among other controversies. The latest outrage is over the booking of him to headline Wireless Festival and the subsequent cancellation. Kanye has a history of not being able to control himself. Many of you remember the 2009 outburst where he stormed the stage during Taylor Swift's acceptance speech and said that Beyoncé should have won. A few years before that, he went on a tandem on an event to raise money for the victims of Hurricane Katrina, saying that George Bush doesn't care about black people. And while many people may have agreed with that statement and understood the sentiment behind it, his support for Bill Cosby several years later is what really got people to question their support for him. Bill Cosby innocent, he wrote in a 2016 social media post, prompting an instant backlash. But Kanye's most controversial point has to probably be the statement that slavery was a choice, with him saying, quote, "When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice," he said during an appearance at TMZ in 2018. "We're mentally imprisoned." His comments sparked a backlash on X, and some people saying he should revisit the history books. Having also carved out a career as a fashion designer, Kanye wore a t-shirt saying "White Lives Matter" at his fashion show in Paris, alongside Candace Owens. And while I can't stand Candace, I kinda have to respect the gesture. But anti-racism campaigners criticised the move for mocking Black Lives Matter. Soon after this, Kanye was seen getting into a debate with Sean Diddy Combs over the t-shirt slogan. Kanye published a private text message exchange on Instagram between him and Diddy, who is now in jail after being convicted on prostitution-related charges, and we will get to a Diddy video in good time. He's not going anywhere, in which Kanye claimed Diddy was controlled by Jewish people. The message played into a long-standing anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, and this resulted in Kanye losing his account. By the end of the year, multiple brand deals had fallen through with Kanye. Adidas cut ties, saying they do not tolerate any anti-Semitism whatsoever. In November of 2022, Kanye said he intended to run for president in the next US election. The bid never came to fruition. The rapper had accumulated just 60,000 votes out of an estimated 160 million. In December of 22, Kanye also appeared on a podcast hosted by conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Wearing a face covering during the interview, he told Jones, "I see good things about Hitler." Kanye told Jones that Hitler had brought great value to the world. I mean, I guess he was good with dogs. But that's not what the debate was about. His comments drew condemnation from all corners. Hours after the broadcast, his account was again suspended from all social media platforms for inciting violence and intolerance. At this point, Kanye started to realize he was off track, and maybe his PR team told him, we don't know, and he did issue multiple open letters to the Wall Street Journal. In these letters, he apologized for his actions and his statements, and said that he was not a Nazi or an anti-Semite, expressed love for Jewish people, and apologized for his past actions against the black community. He attributed his actions to his bipolar type 1 disorder, stating that disconnected moments and manic episodes led to reckless behavior and a loss of touch with reality. He mentioned he was under a new effective treatment regimen involving medication and therapy. He expressed deep regret for gravitating towards the most destructive symbol I could find, the swastika, stating he was mortified by this. Till February of 25, Kanye actually had merchandise with swastikas available for sale on his website. Nope, this is not merchandise from 1938's Hitler Youth. This is from Kanye West in 2025. So Kanye selling the swastika merchandise prompted Shopify to take down any sale of it immediately. The pictures of it went viral on X, and in Germany, the merchandise wasn't even available for purchase, for obvious reasons. Kanye was later blocked from entering Australia on his Nazism ideology. 3 months later, in May of 25, Kanye released the song Heil Hitler, in which he claimed a child custody battle and the freezing of his financial assets turned him towards Nazism. In January 26, Kanye took out a full-page advert in the Wall Street Journal apologizing for his anti-Semitic behavior. "I am not a Nazi. I love Jewish people." He said that as a result of his bipolarism, he had lost touch with reality. Multiple mental health professions have spoken on this, saying that bipolarism does not equate to anti-Semitism. Bipolar disorder is absolutely not synonymous with racism, and there's nothing about mental illness that creates racism or hate. Those are all entirely separate behaviors that he happens to have in addition to having bipolar disorder. Kanye has now released his 12th album titled Bully and was announced as the headliner for the Wireless Festival in London. The Wireless Festival lets the headliner perform 3 nights in a row for a 2-hour set on average. The booking caused an immediate backlash, after which Kanye updated his open letter to the Wall Street Journal, saying that he had been following the conversation around his appearance. He said he would be grateful to meet with Jewish people in the community. "I know words aren't enough. I'll have to show change through my actions. If you're open, I'm here. Start taking your medication, mate. We'll talk in a year." In a statement, the Board of Deputies of British Jews said it was willing to meet the rapper on the condition that he pulls out of his planned performances. So the Wireless Festival has been cancelled, Kanye still gets paid for his appearances, and no one gets to see any music, after the government refused permission for him to enter. He did have an ETA, and Keir Starmer of course got involved. Now Keir didn't get involved until after the fact. From what I understand is, he already had his ETA approved, and then the Wireless Festival decided, because of the backlash, to cancel him. That's when Keir Starmer got involved, saying, "Oh yes, by the way, that's not right." So once again, Keir showing no backbone whatsoever. Everybody who purchased a ticket will get a refund. It added that multiple stakeholders had been consulted ahead of booking Kanye, and no concerns were raised at the time. And while I do agree it is possible to separate the art from the artist, I do think in Kanye's West it is a bit more nuanced than that. Wireless Festival continued saying, "Anti-Semitism in all its forms is abhorrent, and we recognise the real and personal impact these issues have had." The Home Office has now denied Kanye's ETA, saying that his visit would not be conducive to the public good. So lots of people have different opinions on Kanye being barred from the UK, as you can see. While I do understand the action and the signal that has to be sent, anti-Semitism is never okay, I do think it is a bit difficult to bar someone for freedom of expression, because quite frankly the UK is only showing its double standards. Freedom of expression as long as you agree with everything that the government say. So the hypocrisy is, even for our standards in the UK, on a whole nother level on this case. Banning someone from entering a country because of what they have said is just one step ahead of burning books, because the zeitgeist doesn't permit or doesn't agree with what those books entail. It is the second step to becoming an authoritarian state. Part of being in a democracy is having to accept a difference of opinions, something that you yourself may not agree with or dislike. And I am no way a fan of Kanye West. I think he's a twat. And musically gifted, yes. Egypt, absolutely. Now lots of people have said, if Kanye would have made these same remarks about the LGBTQ community, or blacks, or Muslims, would he still be allowed into the country? And a lot of people think he would have been allowed. Those are also part of the double standards that we are seeing nowadays. I personally do believe he would have been allowed into the country had it been against any other marginalized group. And that is the actual outrage for most people. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll talk to you on the next one.